Hi, I'm Johanna Rothman, and this is my April 2023 Create an Adaptable Life newsletter. Let's change the question from what we want to be to the lives we want to have. How often have people asked you what you wanted to be when you grew up? Some of us have asked ourselves this question even though we're supposedly grown up. But that question hides a critical assumption that what we want to be will give us the lives we want to have. Too often, I see people live for the weekend, not enjoying their work, or loving their work, but not integrating their work into the rest of their lives. I'm not big on work-life balance. There's life, and work is a big part of it. That's why I'd like to change the question. Instead of asking what we want to be, we can ask ourselves what kind of life we want. Even that question might not be right for all phases of our lives. So here are my recommendations for early in our lives. Early life questions. Most people, including myself, have no idea what the possibilities are when we're kids or teenagers. That's because we can only see inside careers that we experience in some form. For example, if we've ever stayed in hotels, we might understand a little about hospitality. Or if we know physicians or nurses, we might understand a little about the practice of medicine, but not about research or any of the supporting structures behind the practice of medicine. In the same way, if we've never met people who worked in a factory, we might not know anything about manufacturing. And indeed, when I was growing up, I didn't know anyone who worked in software product development. I did know one person who worked in IT. Back then, the lines between IT and product development were stark. Now, they are quite blurred. If you have a chance to meet a teenager and ask about the future, consider these questions instead. How much do you want to work inside a building or outside in all kinds of weather? How much do you want to collaborate with people or work alone? Most careers require collaboration skills. How do you want to learn new things? With your mind, hands, or both? There are plenty more questions you can ask, but these questions help people start to roll careers in as opposed to roll out by how they want to work. But there's a problem with these questions too. They assume people know how they want to work. And in my experience, the younger we are, the less we know. We need more experience to know ourselves. Early to middle career questions. Aside from knowing I wanted to work in an air-conditioned office, I did not realize how I preferred to work. I thought my software development position meant I could commune with a computer, alone. Imagine my surprise when I had to learn to collaborate with other people here. Imagine my surprise when I had to learn to collaborate with other people. Insert a hearty laugh here. But by the time I'd worked for 3 or 4 years, I could answer the how question above. That led to questions that required me to reflect. What kinds of products did I want to work on? Did the products themselves matter to me? Who did I want to work with? What types of people and teams? What about my managers? What were my values to guide these questions? Even when I didn't know how to form the right questions, I valued learning and having fun over almost anything else. Those values have made it easy for me to decide what to do now that I'm a certain age. Old and proud. Late career and retirement. Once I turned 60, people asked me when I plan to retire. Notice this is the opposite of the questions we ask children. Every time I said it was more important to me to have the life I wanted. I changed the mix of my engagements, but that's because of my vertigo, not my age. Those choices help me live the life I want. You can choose the life you want at any age, but only if you change the conversation from what you want to be to the life you want to have. Announcements. My indexer is working on successful independent consulting. Yes, that book might actually ship at some point in my lifetime. Register now for the Q2 writing workshop. If you want to make a name for yourself, writing is the way to do so. While the AI programs might help people create marketing copy, the world will always need people who can explain what they see and how things got that way. Please join me in the writing workshop. If you want to read more of Create an Adaptable Life or see the links below, in the description for this is the text email newsletter with all the links. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next month.